Krishna Preshtai Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin iti namine Namaste Saraswata Devim Gauravani Pacharine Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Satarine Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swam. I think we will have to mute all Acharya Sevak Prabhu.
Yes.
And then you can unmute me if you need to. That way, the devotees, even if they forget to unmute, mute, they are muted. And I will go ahead recite the sloka as you mute. So, dear devotees, somebody please let in WDC Global and make your way out, and parents, WDC Parenting, know that we have started the session, please. Yeah, you may please do so. Whoever has the access, you may please post a message there that it is started. Thank you. Thank you, dear devotees. So this session today is a part of the WDC parenting session about how to listen to our children. So that is the context of this talk. But I want to let you know that hearing is much more than what we think. It's much more than what you think. That's the first Vaishnava Seva that we could offer, actually. So we will get to know we will hear the presentation. I put some points together from Shastra. So we will know more about that. And this series of wholesome bhakti is about the emphasis on sattva. Sattva is mode of goodness. Okay. As a part of that, we will be hearing today's session. Yeah, today's class. We will do the PowerPoint presentation, but we will recite this shloka from Bhagavad Gita and then go ahead start our presentation. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Abhayam Sattva Samshuddhir Jnana Yoga Vyavastitihi Danam Damascha Yajnascha Swadhyayastapārjavam Ahimsa Satyam Akroda Tyaga Shantir Apaishunam Dhaya Bhuteshu Aloluptvam Mardavam Hrirachapalam Teja Shama Dhritir Shaucham Adroho Natimanita Bhavanti Sampadam Daivim Abhijatasya Bharata. These are the divine words of the Lord to Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita. This is Sattva Samshuddhir. Abhayam Sattva Samshuddhir. So these are the qualities of mode of goodness. This is present in Bhagavad Gita. How can Bhagavad Gita be lived, practiced? That will be the topic of presentation today. Okay? Yes, Prabhu. Now I'll open the PowerPoint. We may close the screen, Prabhu. I will open the PowerPoint. The PowerPoint. It is on my screen and I'm trying to bring it to you. My Google Drive. Where was that screen? I had that ready on my desktop. Yes, please. Yes, right. This is just a draft. I didn't have much time to beautify the presentation. So we have a draft that is good enough for our hearing today, for our purpose today. That's Sattvic hearing. This is part of the wholesome bhakti. Yeah. So this is going to be our topic today. So again, this topic is pertinent to all of us, for all ages too, not just on how to listen to how to hear our children. So it is useful for all of us, even for those who are not practicing devotion yet. Mode of goodness is a state of consciousness where somebody can be steady in the dealings of this material world and internally. So for them also it is useful, even if somebody haven't started their bhakti yet. Okay? So the context of this is the application of Sattvaguna is how to decrease pain and increase peace and happiness. Not only hearing the children or hearing family or friends or anybody around, but in any dealings in our life in this material world, how can we decrease the pain and increase peace? And I was going to say more appropriate word would be harmony. Definitely harmony, peace and harmony. So and the answer to that question is in Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna is saying, so there are sattva practices. If one knows what sattva is and one adopts sattva in their life, in their dealings on day-to-day dealings, then their pain will come down. The problems and pain will decrease. The peace, satisfaction, and harmony will increase. This is a guaranteed one. How can we say this is guaranteed? It's like this. Is it guaranteed if our finger is going to get wet when we put it in the water? Guaranteed, right? In the wet water we put the finger, it's going to get wet in the water. Is it guaranteed if somebody puts a finger in the fire that it gets burnt? Yeah, fire burns. That's guaranteed. Like that, sattva is guaranteed. Sattva guarantees us to give us the peace and harmony. Okay? And for that peace and harmony to stay steady and deeper, then one would need bhakti. That's separate topic. It's not necessarily separate for the bhakti practitioners. They will be able to see how they are related. But the point that we want to make clear here is sattva is also an energy of the Lord. Sattva is also an energy of the Lord. Like Maya Shakti is energy of the Lord. And how do we know that we are in Rajoguna or Tamoguna? We have pain there. How do we know that we are in Sattvaguna? There is fearlessness. There is peace. Yeah, and that's how we know in Sattvaguna. How do we know we are in internal energy, Shuddha Bhakti of the Lord? There is Sharanagati there. So these are the qualities of different energies of the Lord. For us, for today's session, we are going to focus on the Sattva energy of the Lord, beautiful energy of the Lord. This Sattva energy of the Lord, Sattva, mode of goodness, when we adopt this Sattva, this can act as a shield for us in day-to-day material dealings, wherever we are, with whoever we are dealing, home, outside, work, anywhere. That can act as a shield for us to save us from any infliction of pain. Also, the same Sattva, it can act as a fence for us, around us, so we can practice uninterrupted bhakti, raga bhakti. Raga bhakti comes when we are steadily established in sattva. Raga bhakti can be practiced when a person is steadily established in sattva. So for that purpose, sattva is the energy of the Lord that we want to honor, understand. And one more beautiful thing about sattva is that is something we can do it. Like do it. Is there anything in our hands? Okay, there is bhakti to practice, but can you tell me something practical to do? That's all about sattva. So in today's session, we will know what we can do practically to see the results. So the results are reproducible in sattva. In that way, the results are guaranteed to the degree we are able to do it. So that is the beautiful energy of sattva of the Lord. So as we were just hearing the context of the whole talk today, the whole series of talk that was planned was wholesome bhakti. And that wholesome bhakti is bhakti from doing till living, everything, total bhakti. That is wholesome. So we are doing sadhana bhakti. Sadhana bhakti is we are doing something, cheshta bhakti. We are doing it. And then the later part is bhava bhakti or raga bhakti. So this is sadhana bhakti, first one. And the second one is later on it will progress to raga bhakti. But our point of consideration today is in this sadhana bhakti, the sattva should predominate. That should be our focus. When we are practicing bhakti, we want to be vigilant. If our bhakti is in sattva or not, at least day to day. By being vigilant like that, then we will be able to get steadier in bhakti quickly. Yeah, our platform can be strong to stand on, to go on with bhakti. So that is the sattva part in the sadhana bhakti. So in the sadhana bhakti, there is doing cheshta bhakti outside. Then saying is glorifying, sattvic speaking, thinking, sattvic thinking. This is actually a protocol. This is actually the format for wholesome bhakti. But today's focus is on sattvic hearing. So sattvic hearing. This is what we are going to focus on, sattvic hearing. This is the little chunk that we are going to take out from this wholesome bhakti and we are going to hear. And again, this is good for everybody. Whether one is practicing bhakti or not, sattva is always a friend of us. Sattva is energy of the Lord that can steady us, give us peace and harmony. Okay. So what are the qualities of sattva? Since today's topic is sattvic hearing, what are the qualities of sattva? As we just read from Bhagavad Gita, 16th chapter, these are the qualities of sattva. I have categorized them in these two slides. In a way, it makes more, in a way, it brings us more relevance to us. And it fits in certain categories. I can share these slides with you later. So these sattva qualities, these are our short-term goals. We say long-term goal, and the journey of the whole bhakti is Krishna Prema, yes. But the stepping stool is sattva. These are our short-term goals. So these are what we should be vigilant of when we are practicing bhakti. Yeah. So these are the qualities of sattva. So now the question that is relevant to us, pertinent to is, do we want ourselves, do we want to be fearless? Yes. Do you like to see yourself compassionate, non-violent, free from anger, tranquil, serene, peaceful? Do you want to see yourself forgiving? Do you want to see yourself being gentle? Do you want to feel how it is like to be free from envy, free from passion? Do you want to feel how it is like not to find fault with others? These are all very beautiful experiences, dear devotees, because we have the experience of what it means to be angry, right? And what it means to be sad, depressed. We have an experience of all of that, all of us. Those are passion and ignorance. So we have an experience of those. But the experience of sattva is all these beautiful qualities. Do you want to have self-control? Do you want to be in total control of what you are doing, what you are speaking, what you are thinking, how you are living? And do you want to see that you are very detached and not really pulled with anything around? Renunciation. This is wonderful. Very good deal. If we are able to experience any of this, even a bit of it, then we'll get a hang of what sattva means. It's a pretty steady and addicting stage also. And as we have already heard, this is a beautiful energy of the Lord Sattva that can act as a shield for us from any inflictions from outside or within, and it can act as a fence for us. So our bhakti can be continuous, nishita bhakti, steady bhakti, like that. Okay, so this is wonderful. These qualities are wonderful. I want to have all these qualities, all of them if possible. How can I get them, please? Okay, we are starting with how to get these qualities through hearing. Through hearing. Yeah, that is the focus of our session today. So this part you see here, and the other qualities of sattva, these are also the other qualities of sattva. This I put them on the first slide because these experiences are beautiful experiences, not being fearful, having that fearlessness, that compassion, freedom from envy, not wanting to find fault, having that self-control, at ease, and having simplicity, having renunciation are beautiful. They are liberating. And of course, the other things are also there in sattva. There is fortitude, vigor, modesty, cleanliness, austerity, truthfulness. All of these things are also there. To note one point, how are we getting all this information? All this information. Cultivation of spiritual knowledge, study of Vedas. This is the foremost one for sattva. Yeah, even in the contemporary world also, people may come up with meditation workshops, this seminar, that seminar, with no name of bhakti and no word of Krishna. We may not hear any of those things, but the origin of all that knowledge are scriptures. For the impersonal way of meditation practices, different permutations, computations, everything that we see around that is being practiced, the origin of all that knowledge is are the scriptures, spiritual ones. So cultivation of spiritual knowledge is the root. And the presentation that we have here is also because we have this knowledge from the scriptures. We are using that knowledge to see how we can cultivate sattva in our lives, in day-to-day dealings, so we can be peaceful and harmonious. Yeah? So that is about the sattva qualities that we would really like to have. So we can be more peaceful and we can have more harmony and less pain. Okay. And in this quality is very, has a lot of gravity, compassion. Of all the sattva qualities, compassion has a lot of gravity and magnitude. And this is like a shining jewel in sattva qualities. So our focus today is on how to practice compassion, cultivate this sattva quality while we are doing hearing. Dear devotee, are you able to hear me, dear devotees?
Yes, Mother.
Yes, thank you. I logged from my cell phone, the laptop. I thought it was charged, but the plug was not in the right place. So we will continue the session as my laptop gets charged. So, yeah, hearing. We don't realize how potent hearing can be in giving us the peace, the harmony, and for better relationships also with the family, friends around, workplace, everywhere. So that's our topic, Sattvic hearing today. And please give me a second. I am actually opening on my laptop too, so I can present the PowerPoint. Sattvic hearing. And as already said, we may be saying child here during the talk, but it's not just the child. You can just replace that as a person, hearing from a person, not just the child. Because all these results by Sattvic hearing are very much relevant to everybody, any person, not just the child.
Recording in progress.
Thank you for your patience as I check it. Thank you, dear class. So, yeah, and I will share that presentation, Sattvic hearing. Before I share this one, I have to say something that I am also practicing it. I am trying to practice it. And these sessions are more for my purification, and I'm just sharing with you. The PowerPoint that we have just, the slides. Thank you for bearing with my technical deficits. Yeah. Are you able to see it now?
Not yet, Mother.
Not yet? Yeah. Okay. So here we are. We have heard about how sattva can decrease the pain and increase peace and harmony. There is sattva in everything. The way we hear, the way we talk, the way we deal with people, the way we think, everything can be sattvized. Today the focus is sattvizing the hearing. How to do the sattvic hearing. So, yeah, this is the first one. As I was just saying, what we are going to hear today is about sattvic hearing. This is going to be a process. Right now, whatever we are hearing, this may be the first time you may be hearing. Yeah. So this is only hearing that is happening in the Zoom session now. But we have to understand that whatever we hear, we have to start practicing it. So it is going to be a process. We are not going to be perfect in the next very step, in the very next attempt that we are going to do, or by the end of the day. It's a constant practice. It's a process, everyday process that we have to keep in mind. So it's a process done as a practice regularly, all the time. For that, patience is needed. I would like to define patience as being positive and cheerful, even when we do not see the result yet. That is patience. Not being restless and not being disheartening. Patience is not like that. Patience is, yes, I haven't seen the result yet, but my cup is half full. My glass is half full, not half empty. So positive and cheerful too. Enthusiasm, utsaha, nishchaya, dhairya. So these we have to remember. Even after hearing this, when we start doing this process, this is what we need to keep in our mind. That it is a process, we need to practice it, and we need to be positive and cheerful, which is patience. So that's one thing I wanted to remind myself and share with you. Today, the focus is only Sattvic hearing. But that would be the same for Sattvic speaking and Sattvic thinking. These sessions will come in the future. That will be those sessions are part of self-care or soul care for the bhakti practitioners. But today it's just Sattvic hearing, and that is a process, needs practice and patience. What is Sattvic hearing? As we have just seen, in Sattva, empathy, compassion is a jewel, and it's a very impactful. So how the way of hearing others in a compassionate way, in an empathic way, is Sattvic hearing. And what is that empathy? We have heard it before, but what does that exactly mean? Empathy means it's the action of understanding, being aware of, and being sensitive to what the other person is saying. So in other words, vicariously experiencing what they are experiencing. So that is hearing. If we are sharpening our hearing skills like this, even when we are hearing Krishna Katha, Hari Katha also, our hearing quality can really go up. So empathic hearing means being present there for them, being present, understanding what they are saying. Yeah, those steps also will come, like this one here. This, in a nutshell, this is Sattvic hearing. It may look a little funny, but it has a lot to say. Sattvic hearing. What is Sattvic hearing? What should be our attitude? And how do we practically do it? Is all in this slide. Sattvic hearing means cultivating compassion, empathy, non-violence, gentleness. This is bhakti in action, sattva in practice. Look at this slide in the very beginning. These are the qualities of sattva: compassion, non-violence, freedom from anger, tranquility, forgiveness, gentleness. A big chunk of them. And these are all wonderful jewels. Imagine a person having all this. Imagine yourself and imagine myself having this. It's a beautiful, beautiful state, right? So all this that is being said are in practice, in Sattvic hearing. How to practice that compassion, empathy, non-violence, gentleness, having no anger. How to practice it? That we will hear today. Yeah. So, in other words, when we are doing Sattvic hearing, we are cultivating sattva. We are cultivating all these jewels of mode of goodness. We are practicing bhakti. We are doing Vaishnava Seva. That is important to note. When we see this Sattvic hearing as one of the angas of bhakti, how it is establishing us in the mode of goodness, so the bhakti can go on uninterruptedly, then we will take up this. We will be vigilant about this hearing because it is bhakti in practice. Yeah. So that is Sattvic hearing. And what should be our attitude in Sattvic hearing? This should be our attitude. Ears big ears. It's all about hearing. I am sitting here to hear you. It's about you. It's about hearing. The mouth is quite small here. There's not a lot of talk needed in Sattvic hearing. To have the best results, to have the harmony, for the hearing to be efficient, the ears have to be big. It's all about hearing. How to hear, we will come very soon. But this should be the attitude. Ears should be big, mouth should be very small. Means words not so much needed there. This part of how to talk, Sattvic speaking, that will be a different session. But the attitude here for Sattvic hearing is ears should be big. It's about you and I am hearing you. That should be the attitude. It should not be, okay, an agenda of, okay, I am hearing you. I know what you are going to say. I don't even have to hear what you have to say, but this is what I'm going to say. This is what I'm going to think about what you are going to say. See, by default, we have all that conditioning. Just by this setting right our attitude and hearing, all that conditioning is going behind. All that conditioning is out of Rajoguna, Tamoguna. Conditioning is that Tamoguna, Rajoguna, which was acting as barrier for us to be of some benefit, use, and service to others. So all that, I know what you're going to say, I know how I'm going to feel, but this is what I'm going to say. That conditions, they are put aside. It's all about you, and I am hearing you. That should be the attitude. Even to our child. We don't have to be nice only to outsiders or neighbors. Our children are also people. They are also persons. So this is for everybody. Our children, family, friends. And if this can extend to the workplace, neighbors, anywhere. Sattva. Sattva is the energy of the Lord for peace, for harmony. So that's attitude, ears big. And how to do it. This is how to do it. This is a process. We'll go in detail of how to do it. Because this is the big chunk for us. Once we know how to do it, then it's a matter of practice. Okay. So how to do it? So far we have heard about what we are doing when we are doing Sattvic hearing. We are cultivating all these qualities of goodness. And what should be the attitude? My attitude, you are a person. You come first. You are right. You are right in the sense, it doesn't necessarily mean whatever they're saying is right. But I should come out of my thinking, my judgment first. These are important aspects. The attitude is really important. It sets the ground for maximum results when we are hearing others. You are a person. You first. You are a person. There is no familiarity there. Even if you are my child, very adamant child, or angry child, or trouble-giving child, you're still a person. You are a person. A child, or a spouse, or a family member, or a stranger, or at a workplace, whoever it is, you are a person. come out of the familiarity that like, oh, I know this person anyway, coming out of the familiarity. So you are a person, I'm coming out of the familiarity, okay? And you come first, right? It's not about my self-centeredness. It's not about what I think, what I'm already going to think about, what you're already going to say. I think you're going to say like that. It's not about me. I have to come out of my self-centeredness. And you are right in the sense, I don't want to be judging that I am right. And it should be that way. Whatever I'm hearing should be in a way that I think is right, that I think is bhakti, that I think is moral. Those are all judgments. Unseen blocks. Yeah, it's like our shadows. We have a shadow. So that shadow coming out of, that should be the attitude. So that's why I put only those buzzwords there. You are a person, you come first, you are right. I am coming out of the familiarity, no self-centeredness, no judgment. That's the attitude. Okay. Now, in detail about hearing, how should I do it? Dear devotees, please focus on this, because when we go out, very soon we will be going into the breakout rooms. And you will have a turn, each one of you, to practice this. Even if it is for a little bit, we will practice it today. Because once we know how to practice it, then we can practice it every day. We'll have ample opportunities. So please hear this carefully. How to do Sattvic hearing. Yeah, this is important. Is everything good? Yes.
I have a question. Shall I ask now or later?
Little later, Mataji. We'll be coming to questions and answers very soon.
Okay.
Very soon. Thank you. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
I was just going to check that because everybody is so quiet, unlike a discussion session. I wasn't sure if if you are able to hear and follow, but you have confirmed that, Mataji. Thank you. So this is how we hear. First thing, I have condensed it as much as possible so we can pack it up and put the chip in the back of the mind. And I can share the slides with you later. How to do Sattvic hearing is by hear P. Is that? Yeah, you see here the process is hear. I'll tell you what that means. Here, P. That's here. P. You can say be present. Just be present and hear. As simple as that. The process is be present and hear. There's just an acronym for us to have the chip at the back of the mind so we can do our Sattvic hearing properly. And what is this HEAR and P? How do I do that? They're shuffled up a little bit here. It's not exactly in sequence, but the sequence is this. First of all, when we are hearing, especially for us Indians, we were not taught like this. When we are hearing, it does matter to the other person, even if it is our child or spouse or anybody, to have eye contact. Look at them when they're starting to talk. Don't just do your own stuff and say, I'm hearing, yes, I am. The body is turning somewhere else, looking somewhere else, doing somewhere else, and the other person doesn't even know if we are hearing or not, or if we are understanding what they're trying to say. Yes, about that. So first thing is eye contact. Turn around. Make eye contact, even if it is for a moment. That is indicating like, yes, I've paid attention to you. Yes, please go ahead. It doesn't necessarily mean that we have to stare at the person like that, stand as a statue and look at them like that. It's not like that. It is just like we are indicating to them that we are with them. So turn around, eye contact. That's the first thing. Eye contact is whatever natural eye contact is, not real, don't have to necessarily stare, but it does matter. Okay. So our body posture and eye contact. It indicates that I am paying attention to you. That's first thing. Okay. So being present, first thing. I am present for you. This is called non-verbal communication. I'm not saying a thing, but I've turned around and looked at you. It means without saying, I'm saying that I am caring for you. I am present for you. That's eye contact. Okay. And I said, here. It's because there is not a lot of talk that we do in hearing, but we have to acknowledge as our child or anybody speaking, yes, I'm hearing you. Yes, please go ahead. Yeah, I heard you. Acknowledge here and there, or indicate, nod the head, acknowledge. That's the second thing. Yeah. I generally sometimes call it as just become a machine when you are hearing. Yes. Yes. Acknowledging. Yeah. So that's the second step. Third one is we have to validate them. Say if the child is coming and she's saying, Ma, it was so upsetting today. She was so nice to me the other day, but today she didn't even look at me, Ma. And I felt so sad. When she says like that, and I just do my stuff and I say, oh yeah, yes. What did you say? Oh yeah, sad? Yeah. What? Sad? Yeah. Here I am sad. You don't even hear what I say. You don't feel what I'm feeling. So validating. Oh, is it sad, beta? Yes. It can be hurtful. No judgment there. If somebody is hurt, for whatever reason they are hurt, we are not judging. We are validating that. Oh yeah, if that happens, it can be hurtful. Whether you're right or wrong is a different thing. That's the next thing. But in empathic hearing or sattvic hearing, validates. Oh, it can be hurtful. Validate. That is very important step. Very important. No judging. Whoever it is, whatever they are going through, validate. Oh yeah, that was wonderful. Oh yeah, it has been sad. Oh yeah, I can understand. Oh, you must be happy, huh? Validate. Next one. As we are saying, hearing and validating, yeah, it can be like that. Ask questions here and there. Yeah. Oh, why do you think she spoke like that? Why do you think she acted this way? What do you think, Nana? Facilitate. Facilitates with the questions so they can speak out. So they can speak out. Here, our goal is let whatever the child is going through come out, heal, find their way out, and come up with their solution and learn what they need to learn. That's what we are doing in the Sattvic hearing. It's exactly like a doctor to a patient, but very quietly. Yeah. So asking, oh, is that so? Yeah, it can be hurtful if she didn't talk to you. Was she in a bad mood yesterday or today also? Something relevant, some question where the conversation can go on and the other person can speak what is there in their heart. That is facilitation. Okay. And the final thing is plan. So as they talk, if the talk may go on, but we have to keep in mind that as they are coming to the closure of, they have vented everything out, yeah, then we have to help them come up with their own plan of action. We are not going to make a plan for them. Everybody's journey is different. So you help them sort out so they can plan for themselves. Like, okay, also it was hurtful for you when she didn't talk to you, your best friend, right? Yeah, so you think this has happened. Yeah. What do you think you want to do, Nana, tomorrow when you go to school? If you happen to see her, do you want to do something different, or what do you think? It's all making them think, making them come up with their next plan of action in a positive way. That's helping them to come up with the action. This is an important chunk. In this way, everybody is a doctor when the other person is a patient. It can be anybody on the other side. And by the way, we are also always a patient, and we will need somebody to hear too. And this is how we do Sattvic hearing. Okay. So this is how, and in the question and answers, we can go on elaboration, but this is how we do. Okay. The
Mataji?
last thing.
Hare
Yes.
Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Mataji, can you explain more
Mataji,
about
we didn't come to the question and answer session.
No,
About
can you
what?
facilitation?
Oh, yes, I will. Definitely. We'll come to that soon. There are just two, there are just quick slides, Mataji, and we will come to that. Each one of your questions will be answered elaborately. Yeah, we'll come to that facilitation soon. Yes. Actually, that's an important chunk. I just gave you an idea. We can go in detail too. So that's how we do Sattvic hearing in briefly. Yeah. And there are some do's and don'ts which are very helpful for us. When we say us, not only to our children, to the people around us, but for us also. Because these thought processes go within us too, about ourselves too. So what to do, what not to do? These are the slides. The hearing, Sattvic hearing. So when hearing, we understood how to do the Sattvic hearing, the process of Sattvic hearing, right? We have heard that. And what should we be watchful when we are doing Sattvic hearing? We should be hearing everything. Hear it peacefully. This may not be easy to do. All of a sudden, when we start doing it, it may not be easy, but the results will be so much better when we do it this way. Gradually, we will get there. But this is how, these are the do's and don'ts though. And again, I want to emphasize, this is a process. We are hearing these do's and don'ts, but we don't want to beat up ourselves. Be constantly vigilant and beat up ourselves and be disappointed that we are not able to do it properly, and we are always doing the don'ts and we are not doing the do's. That's not the idea. This is just a guide for us, a map for us. When we are driving, we may go this way or that way, but at least we will have a map so we can go towards that way. No beating up ourselves, no inflicting ourselves. It's a process. We want to be positive and cheerful. So the guide here is hear everything, hear peacefully, hear everything. Don't stop when the other person is talking. Hear peacefully. Don't get agitated. Not easy, not easy. But we will see the results will be so much bigger when we don't get agitated. How to do that is again a different thing. But these are the do's and don'ts. Connect with the person that you are talking to, your child or spouse or anybody there. Don't control that person. Connect with the person. And be in your sattva boundaries. Keep whatever emotions you get while you are hearing, especially when it is family members, there can be a lot of you that would be coming. Keep them within the sattva boundaries. Yeah, may not be easy, but if we keep them and carry out the whole sattva hearing, the results will be greater. So don't push the emotions out of boundaries. In other words, don't get carried away by emotions. Next one is, as we hear, we help them sort out. We don't solve for them. Let them solve their problem, because this is how they will become autonomous and independent and will be able to make their decisions very nicely for them. We have to facilitate that. Okay. No yelling. This is especially for children. Spouses also no yelling. No yelling. And when I'm saying this, that's all first for me, for my reinforcement. No yelling, no correction of people, be it be children or spouses or family members or anybody in front of others. No comparing. This is for sure, no comparing. And as I'm talking this, I'm reinforcing this to myself. I have 3 daughters. I should not be comparing. And no comparing the spouses, no comparing the children, no comparing anybody, no sharp words, and no making the mistake big. Mistakes happen with everybody. We don't want to make anybody feel bad as if their mistakes are big. We don't realize that it's going to hurt them, and without our knowledge, we are hurting ourselves too. Okay, so these are some do's and don'ts. And this is also continuation. Okay, so this is what we want to keep in mind when we are hearing. These are the do's, these are the don'ts. Okay, now we have heard it all, and it's time to give feedback. How do we do that? Always positive first. Even if there is nothing positive that we found, at least the child is coming and yelling at us, then I would say, I'm so glad at least you are sharing this with me, Nana. I know you are yelling, I know you are angry, I know you are upset, I know you're everything, but I'm glad that you are sharing this with me. Some positive first, and then the corrections next. Also, each one of us will have something positive. All our children, spouses, family, they will have something positive. Let's make whatever positive they have big. Give a big touch to their positive, boost their positive. Yeah. Emphasize on that, encourage them on that. So boost their positive, a big touch on their positive. Say if the child is not so good at studies, but very good at painting, etc., then, or anything like that, the boost should be on the positive, emphasis should be on the positive. Then what about my child also should get better? There are some negative things that need to get better too. What do I do? Faint touch on improvements. We don't want to do it vice versa. Oh, you are like this, you never study well, you always get only pass marks, you don't get the first grade, you don't get the A grade, you are like this in the studies. Wow, wow, wow. How good is that child on in the math or drawing or artist? That, oh yeah, I know her drawing is okay, but she doesn't get this grade properly. See how much damage we are doing, right? This is all damage. We don't want to do any damage. So boost the positive. Give a big touch to the positive. Okay, the studies is not the asset. Painting is the asset. Do your best with the studies. Nana, see what help you need. It's okay. You will get it. Means faint touch. Okay, studies are there. Yes, it can get better. But yes, we have a plan for this. And you tell me how you think you can get better. We can do it together. Team. Like that. For any improvement, only faint touch and teamwork. Next, whoever it is that we are speaking with, we have to respect and connect with them. Then only the results will be bigger. Bigger for the child and for the parent too. If I'm angry and controlling, the results can be negative or lesser. Yeah. Next. Well, the child can say anything, they can ask anything, and how should I discipline them? Am I just going to sit there and hear anything and do nothing? And what about the discipline about my child? Discipline of my child? Then boundaries without negativity. If the child is saying, oh, I want to be on the cell phone, I want to watch this video, I want to go to movie, I want to go with friends, instead of saying no to everything in fear that something will happen, set the boundaries. Okay, you want to go to a movie? Instead of saying no, okay, which movie are you going to? These are the movies allowed, and you can go in this during this time. I will come and pick you up. You let me know who is coming with you. Set the boundary. Yeah, instead of just saying no and wipe it out, which they may end up doing anyway behind our back. That's the very common teenage problem. When they are asking something, set the boundary without negativity. That way the children don't have to hide anything from us, and there are boundaries and there is no negativity. Next, the last one is, we have to be, oh yeah, this one. Oh my God, what is going to happen to my child? If I'm going to say with yes for everything and give the boundaries. But what about those things which I cannot, something cannot be done? So those are non-negotiable. We have to make those things clear to the child. These things, there can be boundaries. Going to movie, yes. These are the boundaries. This should be the time. This should be the movie. This should be the friend circle. I'll come and drop you, boundary. Good. And you ask about something else, that is non-negotiable. That is a no-no. That making it clear to the child. What is a no-no and what is a boundary, right? Yeah, this is the last slide, dear parents. I know I am just giving out the information. This is more like that session that we need to hear that something like this is there for us to practice. So this is more of giving out the information. This is the last slide. All of us, your child is what you are. This may sound like too strict, too judgmental, because, oh, so if my child is negative, does that mean I am negative and that's why my child is negative? It doesn't, this sentence, this statement is not meant to invoke that. This statement should be taken in a positive way. In other words, if I am being positive, if I am saying it positive, then the result is most likely that I will see a positive result in my child. If I am being negative, if I'm saying it in a negative way, if my words are negative, my tone is negative, my attitude negative, then the most likely result is I don't want to use a negative word here. The most likely result is we may not see much positive in the child. Like that. So your view, your words, your tone will mold your child. Be positive, say positive, you will see positive. Mataji, is that so? 100%? Well, nothing is 100%, but we want to do our best. Do our best to be in sattva, to do sattvic hearing, to do sattvic dealings. It doesn't necessarily mean that the result will always be the way that we want it. It doesn't necessarily mean that. But at least we are in sattva. We are in positive. We have done our best. Like that. That's what is meant to convey here. And the last, this is the application of what it is. Say the child, what does it mean to be positive, to say positive, so you will see positive? What does that mean? Say if the child is slow in what she's doing, or if he's procrastinating, then our immediate response is, why are you so slow? I always see you procrastinating. You always keep your room messy. You don't do the things in time. How many times I have to tell you that? Right? That is our immediate reaction. By this time we can say, what mode is all that? Tamoguna, Rajoguna, because it is inflictive. So we want to turn it to sattva to get the result from the child. The same idea, how can I convey it in sattva? Okay, the child is slow, child is procrastinating, then how can I bring a positive change in the child? Then what would I say? Instead of saying, oh, you are lazy, you are always like that, you never listen to me, and you will become like this. Instead of all that, pushing down, if the child, how would we say that? It will be nice if you can pick up a little more, Nana. You're doing an awesome job, at least you're doing, but you can do it faster. Do you want to put a timer? You want to do it faster? And do you want to see how happy you're going to feel if you don't, procrastinate things? So approaching them in a positive way, with positive words, positive tone, seeing them as positively doing it. In that way, the result can be more positive and quicker and ever long lasting than pushing them down, punishing, inflicting, like that. Yeah. So this is what we mean here. Be positive, say positive, you will see positive. And we can just add to that. You will feel positive, your child will feel positive, and the whole house will be positive. It will be or not, we don't know, but we only try, right? That's all. That's all, dear devotees. So that's Sattvic hearing, bhakti in action. I'm going to pause the PowerPoint presentation here, and we can stop the recording also, Prabhu. Now we can take question and answer.